Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm back here at Into Moto in Warrington. I've got another bike that I'm going to share with you today. So let's just cut straight to a walk round, shall we? Let's go. Here we have it. What we've got today is the Keeway RKR. It's a 125. It's a sporty looking 125, isn't it? We'll have a walk round, have a look at it, usual way. I'll show you bits I like, and if we find something I don't, I'll show you that as well. Yeah, let's just get straight to it. We'll do it the usual fashion. Let me grab the camera. There's our sexy close-up. I think it does look nice with the fairing. And if you know about these bikes, you'd know price-wise, really good value. You compare this bike to a couple of the well-known brands like Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, KTM, to name but a few. These are really good value. Now, I get there'll be people who'll say, oh yeah, but they're just cheap. Well, they are cheap. And I've not ridden it yet, so I can't say what it rides like. But I think looks-wise, it looks as nice as any of those others that I've just mentioned. So we'll see, and make sure you stay for the test ride so you can experience it with me. You can see whether it's any good or if it's not. So first of all, it's a 125, so they're quite light bikes anyway, and I'll put the facts and figures on at the end as I usually do. But we've only got a single disc brake at the front, but again, because of the weight, I can't see that being a massive problem, but we'll do a brake test when we're out and about anyway. And we've got the single disc at the back as well. Now, exhaust, very similar to a lot of these new 125s that come out now. The joys of, I don't know what we're on now, Euro 5, or I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're all very similar looking, aren't they? I just don't know why they always have to have that little end sticking out though. I'm sure they could just chop that off, make it look a bit nicer. The single shock at the back, you can see it's absolutely gleaming, this bike. It is brand spanking new. It has, I think, 2 or 3 miles on it. It's got next to nothing. Just a side stand, no centre stand with this one. We do have a chain drive, a rear seat, which does look really nice and cushioned. There's a good inch or two there worth of padding. Got some nice hand grips as well for your pillion to hold on to. Again, I've not ridden this bike, so I can't say whether I'd recommend it yet to have someone on the back, but we'll see. And some nice substantial, they're quite chunky them as well for your pillion. Yeah, quite chunky, those rear pegs. The seat, let's have a look. Again, it looks like there's loads and loads of cushion to that. I've not even sat on this bike yet, so I'll sit on it very shortly. I'll let you know how that feels on the backside. But it passes the finger test anyway. It feels nice and spongy. Got some clear indicators as well. I always like that. They just look nicer when they're clear lensed. But you let me know, what do you think? Quite nice from the back. Industry standard as far as the buttons go, quite basic. You've just got your horn indicators, your high and low beam, and then your flash. And on the right hand side, again, no buttons everywhere. We've just got a simple start button, we've got your hazards, and we've got your engine cut-off switch there. Let's just switch it on and have a little look what happens. So we've got your big rev meter coming at the side. Got clock, your speedo. We've got temperature gauge over that side. You can see it's currently showing 4 miles. That'll go up after I've had a little play. But it does have a fuel gauge as well. I love that because still so many bikes come without them. Yeah, your buttons at the side are just for your trip computers. So you can go between your trip computers, and the other one will be to set your clock and all that. What do you think of the walk round? I think, for me personally, I think it's a nice looking 125 sports bike. There are others out there, of course there are, and there are quite a few options, but look at the price first and foremost. If you want to get one of the big name brands, you're going to pay for it, and are you really going to get more performance? I would suspect not. Make sure you join me for the test ride so I can show you how it rides, and we'll find out together. I've literally not even sat on this bike. In fact, I'm going to do that now. Even though it's got the appearance of a sports bike, you are actually quite sat up. The bars are quite high, they're quite nice and wide as well. So it's quite a comfortable position to be in. You're not leant over the tank like you are on the big sports bikes. And yeah, the pegs aren't particularly high up either. You can see with my knee placement there. But yeah, it's actually quite a comfortable seating position. And I can confirm the seat is really nice as well. You can feel the sponge to it. It's a bit memory foamy when you put your butt on it. But I've gone all American. When you put your arse on it, it feels nice. I am flat-footed on both sides, so no issues when you stop at junctions, traffic lights. Do notice that though, that is quite a lot higher than that. So when you're cocking your leg over, you will hit the back seat. Or I have, but I've only got little legs. Let's go and do a test ride. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, you've not been here before, you've not seen one of my reviews before, make sure you have a look at the other ones I've done. I've done loads, and mainly thanks to these guys in Moto behind me. So have a look at those, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Right, let's go for a ride. Let's start it up, shall we? Let's see what it sounds like. It's quite quiet, which is alright, you know. You're not going to wake the neighbours up in the morning. Sounds okay. Let's tell you what, let's see what it sounds like when we're going for a ride, shall we? The first test outside into Moto is always going to be these little cobbles. And you know what? It's soaking up the bumps quite nicely. It has got a proper little 125 roar to it. It actually picks up speed really well. It's certainly going to have no problems whatsoever just keeping up with traffic. Certainly through town, no issues whatsoever. If you've watched the channel before, I'm not a massive fan of sports bikes because I am carrying far too much around the waist area, and I just find them a bit uncomfortable for me at the moment. But I'm not having the issue with this because you're not bent over the tank as you would be ordinarily with any sort of sports bike. You are sat not perfectly up straight, but you are sat up as opposed to bent over the tank, so it does feel really comfortable to ride. The brakes don't feel really sharp. They feel alright, they feel good enough. You can certainly stop quite quickly if you need to. That's probably all I can say about them. They're not brilliant, but they're not bad. I do like how it goes from side to side, nice and easily as well. There is just feels like there's no weight to this bike at all. Yeah, do you know what? It sounds alright. It's not the quickest 125 I've ever been on. It's certainly not the slowest. As far as this wind protection goes, it's a little bit flimsy, I've got to say. The plastic on here is really soft and it bends, so you can see this bike is made to a budget, but obviously by making them cheaply they can pass those prices on to us, the customers. So I haven't got a massive problem with that, as long as everything else works okay. I can deal with a bit of flimsy plastic there. The gears are really nice and smooth. There's no clicking and clunking, and they're quite light as well, so just the slightest touch on them and you're changing gear, which is good. I'm gonna try a brake test. Let's try a little brake test. Right, okay, so I'm going to take back about the brakes. When you actually put a little bit of force into them, they are really good and they will stop the bike really quickly. If you're just touching them though, then, you know, not a lot happens. You do have to actually grip them a little bit to get the brake on. But again, not an issue because it does stop the bike. You just have to make sure you squeeze them. It's not a slightest touch. You've got to actually squeeze them properly. But yeah, overall, quite a nice experience. Quite a nice bike to ride. It's a 125 at the end of the day, so it's not going to be earth-shatteringly quick, but for a 125 it's certainly not the slowest. It's not the fastest by any stretch, but it's not the slowest either. You'd certainly be able to keep up with your friends. I will put all of the facts and figures on now, so thank you very much. I'm back at Into Moto. I'm going to drop this bike off, and if you're interested in this bike or any new bike, you can see they've got loads in there now. Just have a look at the website. I'll put links in the description. It's the least they deserve for letting me go out playing on these bikes. So thanks for watching guys, and catch you on the next one. Laters.
Is this all that you dreamed it'd be? Ending up